This is the performing songwriter, and my name is Ray Naylor. My guest today is young Sam James. Young Sam James is not only a songwriter, but also a multi-instrumentalist. In addition to performing solo, he also plays with the bands Pie-Eyed Preachers and Shaky DeVille. Before I talk to Sam, he's going to sing one of his songs, one of his original songs, right here on The Performing Songwriter.
His first song is called Blue Workers. Well, I called in sick on a Monday again. Fall this weekend ain't never gonna end. My body's aching and I'm all dead weight. This dead end job ain't gonna choose my fate. Well, I woke up early on Tuesday morning. Been bruising bloody since the day I was born. The taxman has the nerve to knock on my door. Which senator's pocket is this one for? Well, I went to work early Wednesday. Thought it'd be smart to ask for my pay. Can I get cash? You know those loans never leave. The banks, they screw me, force me on my knees. Well, Thursday's here and I ain't got a fret. Just 2 more days and I'll give it my best. No need for promotion, no need to be a winner. It's only the rich who seem to get richer. Well, Friday's the gateway to the weekend again. Think back on life and remember when I used to go outside in the sun, but now I stay in and drink when the workday is done.
Young Sam James. Was this the young Sam James that used to be known as Sam James?
Yes, soon turned to young.
Now, in the future, it will have to be old Sam.
Oh
James.
no, it's all worked out. I got I'm young, so hopefully, when I get older, I'll keep that, and then I'll wear the hat for when I start eventually go balding, So.
Okay, well, one thing you can no longer become is Baby Sweet James.
Baby Sweet James?
Yeah.
I like that, though. Maybe I should change it.
James Taylor.
Ah.
Sweet Baby James, what did I say? Sweet
okay.
Baby James. I wanted to ask you first, you write a lot of songs that to me are sound more of a traditional or an old country style. Mm-hmm. Would you agree with that? And if so, or if not, what has influenced your style of music, would you say?
No, I'd agree with that. I take a lot from traditional folk music, a lot of old blues songs. And I kind of, being in 2017, I, of course, am influenced by all the modern and contemporary artists. And I try to mold them together. I don't try to be, a stuck-up folk purist,
mm-hmm.
So I try to mold them together, and that's usually just how my writing comes out. It's kind of like blended in the traditional sense, but it's something that hopefully people of today can be like, they can relate to it.
Now you played a number of instruments. You play guitar, banjo. You also play accordion, and I think you play bass. I was reading on one of the bands that you play with, and maybe some other stuff. That's pretty good. How did you? When did you start playing instruments, and how did that evolve into playing a number of different types?
Well, I started guitar when I was 12. I started taking lessons, and then eventually my dad bought me a mandolin, and then I moved on to banjo, and got an accordion off Craigslist for $40.
Yeah.
So that's how I started playing that, and it just playing new instruments is my fiance always said that I can pick up an instrument and just start playing it, and I like to think that. I hope that's the case. But I just enjoy when you start playing a new instrument, you discover new things about your music and your songwriting, and you kind of broaden your horizons. And so just playing all these instruments, like just picking one up, you instantly get a different idea than what you had on the last one, And it's also just fun, just being able to play, whatever you want to play on whatever you want to play.
So it sounds like for you, it's been easier than maybe most people. Kind of like some people are really good at languages, and you sound like you're good at learning a new instrument.
Yeah, I'm happy at least I got one thing down, because everyone's got their thing they can do, and I like to think this is mine, and I have fun with it, and that's the main part of it.
Do you still play mandolin?
Funny you should say that, because the mandolin was the second instrument that I started playing, but it's actually probably the worst that I'm at. For some reason, I'm starting to pick it up again now, but I just couldn't get it down. Maybe it was too small.
Yeah.
But I think my first love was the guitar. So I always like to, people always ask me, what's your favorite instrument, all the instruments you play? I say, it's the guitar, because it's the first thing I learned. It's what brought me into the world of performing music, and it's what I write most of my songs on. But I love playing on any instrument, that I get my hands on.
Now, any particular artists that have influenced you over the years, would you say?
I was thinking, since you first contacted me to be on your show, I was thinking of all the questions you'd ask, and I was talking to my buddy in my band, and I was like, I'm trying to think of answers to all these questions. He said, he's not going to ask you any of those questions you're thinking of. And I was like, you're probably completely right, but there is one, and it's exactly that who influenced me. And I was thinking of, and usually it should be an easy question, because all musicians get asked that question. But when you ask somebody that question, for me, I answer one person, I answer John Prine, which is true. But then I'll be like, oh yeah, but I put David Bromberg in there too. But then I think of another name and another name. But writing-wise, John Prine and his finger-picking guitar style. David Bromberg when it comes to his blues, and I like more rowdy, more not dirty, but maybe sensibly raunchy songs. With writing, Shane MacGowan of the Pogues is a big influence on me, and a lot of traditional folk music from Ireland, England, Scotland, and the United States. And whatever I hear is really an influence. I think what really brought me into, I was thinking the past week, what really brought me into a lot of that is being in the Boy Scouts. Because, we're at camp, we just sing songs, and a lot of them are old folk songs.
Right.
Get passed down over the years from troop to troop and all that. And I never thought about that until last week, but I think that was also a big influence on me when it comes to singing and performing. And, thousands of, whatever I hear is an influence.
Well, you mentioned David Bromberg, and when I was around your age, at least, I was a senior in college, and this was in '68. And David Bromberg used to play with Jerry Jeff Walker way back then, and I saw them.
Oh, really?
At what used to be the Main Point in Bryn Mawr, which is no longer there.
Actually, the first time I ever performed live was right down the street at there was an old Milk Boy Cafe. But it was I think that was a couple doors down from
Not
the
too
Main
far.
Point. Yeah. And my dad made a point to tell me that you started where all these Bruce Springsteen and David Bromberg and Bonnie Raitt, all these people played, which I thought I got that going for me.
That's cool.
Which is pretty nice.
Now, in terms of your songwriting, in general, what do you try to say?
I try to a lot of my songs, I try to say things that normally are not said. You know, I don't try to be like, you know, my songwriting is better because I got all this stuff. You know, I try not to write, you know, just like normal stuff. I don't know. You know, just a lot of it just comes just like natural. Like, ooh, I want to write about that. You know, I wish I could explain, you know, why I wrote this and what I was feeling at exactly every single line. I just try to write songs that are true to me, at least, that it make me feel good when I'm done with it and go, you know, that's a song. I'm so happy I wrote that, and that's, you know, speaking in third person, that's a Sam song. That's a young Sam James song, and I'm happy with that, and I'd be fine with performing that. But yeah, just, you know, true, straightforward songs that speak to me and hopefully speak to whoever's listening.
Okay. Well, we're going to listen to 3 more of your songs, but first, I want to play a portion of a video of the next guest for the next show, and her name is Emily Barnes. Emily's a very excellent songwriter and performer. She's a nationally touring artist. She lives in New Jersey. She was a finalist in this year's Kerrville Folk Festival's New Folk Songwriters Contest. And this particular song that we're going to listen to is called Merry Go Round, and then young Sam James will be back and do 3 more of his original songs.
Constant battle with the dangers in your head, urging you towards things you're not ready for yet. Just as the willows are reaching for the water, you're searching for the answers, baby, why bother? Because you have been dead wrong to assume everything would just go on. Like the ponies dancing to their favorite songs, spinning up and down in hopes that I come back around on this merry-go-round. You pick the lock in hopes of getting inside, weaseling your way between the things I'm hiding behind. Just as the water needs a sky, searching for the answers, baby, why? Because you have been there wrong to assume everything.
This song is called Ski Ball. Walking on the boardwalk early one night, I saw the girl standing under 60 white lights shining heavenly. An angel just for me. She'll be my girl, my one and only world. Pale little ski ball with a vision of love. I asked her her name and she looked above. She said top shelf center, and that's what I must win her. I put a token in the slide, gave it my best shot. Sent my balls a roll with my head held high, aiming for the 100-point holes in the sky. But a top shelf prize caught a glimpse from my eyes, and like a look in the mirror, I turned to see a big red 0. Ski ball, like when Rio, playing just for fun. Didn't matter if we won. Ski ball, don't you wish you were here? Renegade in here, don't you wish you were here? A girl so wonderful in so many ways, a young man can't help but be amazed. But in a quest for pleasure, down the shore where it's wetter, when the tide goes out, she's what it's all about. On that chilly night, an old Connie just grinned, seen this poor boy who just couldn't win. So with a whisper in the ear, to quote a South Jersey Shakespeare, just do what I said, I promise you'll get ahead. set my balls a-rolling for a second time. I grabbed her hand and her gaze met mine, and she smiled a smile that left my heart beguiled. The lights flashed winter, but that didn't matter to her. Skip on like when we were young, playing just for fun. Didn't matter if you won. Skip on. Don't you wish you were here, grinning ear to ear? Don't you wish you were here, playing just for fun? Didn't matter if you won. This song is about the passing down of beliefs and ideals and morals from one generation to the next, and the occasional rejection of said beliefs. And it's called Don't You Weep. My mama once told me, if you treat your brother kindly, when the time comes to lay down before you fall asleep, you'll be so well paid when your soul is whisked away to the heavens where I'll be waiting. Don't you weep. I said, dear mama, I did all I could do to love, but I'll strike the shepherd, for I am no man's sheep. I'll decide my own fate, your heaven will have to wait, but mama, I'll always be yours. Don't you weep. No, no, don't you weep. My little girl asks me, saying, Dad, what should I believe? Darling, what you sow now, so shall you reap. Though we won't meet again, this will not be the end. For my love for you will live. Don't you weep. Now, no, don't you weep. Now, I get told very often that I write dark songs, but songs about, including this next one, about depression, about suicide, about self-mutilation, about lots of things, you know, things. But I don't try to make it gloomy and moody, you know. I feel like the reason why these are considered dark is because they're never brought out into the light. I think the first step into curing something is acknowledging that it exists and there's actually a problem. So this winded explanation of this next song, it's called We Got This. If you want to cut yourself, I'll be here for you. Let's write a song and put everybody in it. Whoever harmed you won't do no wrong. It's just simple lines of words on paper. Maybe then you and me would be free to find home. Hey! I love you more than life itself, but I also love life and yours specifically. Take a moment, please take two, take a third, why you rather just stay here with me? Sure man, I really don't know how you feel, but I know how it feels to be filled. It's our song, we can make up words, we're humans after all, we invented the wheel. And hey friend, I'm right here, just, there's nothing to be feared, but I'm just a guy with two good ears who can promise you I won't disappear. And no, I won't go. Cookie dough, river flow. Take my hand, take this pen, help me rhyme. Oh, once again, Sure, evolution, opposable thumbs, a big brain with word. It's all good fun, but we're naked, perverse, clinically depressed, a penchant for pettiness, beliefs and nonsense. But we cry as humans do, so others can see what we are going through. So my friend, take the very next verse, and with this pen, do your worst, yeah. We got this. We got this. We got this. Huh?
That was a slide of some of the shows that we're going to have in the next probably month and a half. So join us. All those people are also very good.
Before you start, I must apologize because usually I know you have the stool here for the CD.
Yeah.
And I've yet to record a CD, hopefully soon. But that and also a lot of your past guests were winners of songwriting awards and stuff like that. And I haven't won anything. I also didn't compete in anything. But you've had some really good people on your show. And I'm not surprised that they won these songwriting and these performing contests.
But you see, this is going to be like Back to the Future, so that when you win awards and when you have your CD, then
invite me back in 10 years or so.
we're going to visualize. We're going to visualize the recordings right here.
We'll CGI it in later.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now you're in a couple bands.
Yeah.
Just talk a little briefly about the bands.
There's two bands. It's the same. It's really confusing to people who never heard us before. But it's two bands. They're pretty different. The same three people in both bands. The first one is Pied Preachers, which is a folk rock group, and we kind of blend Irish traditional and Americana music, and it's acoustic with a drum set. And then the other band is called Shaky, DeVille. I don't want to be one of those guys who are like, well, it's kind of rock and it's kind of punk and it's blues, but it is blues and it's rock and roll, and it's a little bit. We do a little bit, pogish kind of stuff, and a little rockabilly, and I play bass in that group.
Okay. Now you mentioned that you're planning to do some records. Mm-hmm. What are some other things that you're hoping to be able to do over the next few years?
I kind of started out a couple years ago with the solo stuff, and then I joined these bands, and I kind of put all I had into these bands. And now I'm trying to do both. I'm trying to do my bands, and I'm trying to go more solo. So I'm still new to the solo scene in a way, but I like to get out. I love performing for people wherever, whenever. I don't care if the house is full, if the house is empty. I'm just playing to myself. I just love playing. It doesn't mean I don't like to get paid eventually, because I like to have, I like to support myself. But I just, first and foremost, I just love performing, and I love writing my own songs, and hopefully in a couple years or in the next year or so, I can start recording, my first album, even if it's just an EP. Mm-hmm. Because I'm finalizing a bunch of songs that I'd want to put in there.
Right.
One or two I'm playing today for you, and I just that's where I see myself in a couple of years.
Well, you mentioned how much you like performing. Mm-hmm. When you get on stage or in front of a group of people, what's the most important thing to you?
To not be nervous, really, yeah, because I'm starting to get over it now, but a crippling stage fright. And, even today, and I'm just playing for one person, but, the cameras and all, and sometimes, it gets to be too much. But I just love just getting up there, and if people clapping at the end of my song. Sometimes I'm so nervous that I don't hear the clapping at the end. I'm just happy I got done the song. And then there's times when I listen for the claps and I go, they're actually clapping for a song that I wrote. This is great. What better thing can I be doing right now than performing my own music for people?
One reason not to be nervous is really, I think when you're performing, it's all about the audience.
Yeah.
They should be nervous.
Yeah. That's one way to put it. Yeah.
And you're there to entertain them, to make them have a good time, to make them think, to feel your songs.
Yeah.
And if you do that, then I think you're successful.
Yeah.
Do you have a web page people can contact and contact you and see where you're playing?
I got a Facebook, I got an Instagram, and I post a bunch of funny pictures. It's all just under Young Sam James. So if you just Google Young Sam James, a lot of that stuff will come up. But yeah, okay. Facebook, Instagram. I'm making a website now.
Okay.
And Reverb Nation, you can find all my music there.
Okay, and we'll have that all. In fact, we'll have your website right here, right now, exactly right now. Yeah. And the other things will be at the end of the show here. And
just come out to my shows and support local live music in general, whoever it is, because those people. You think, you go to a show at a bar or somewhere and you see someone on stage, like someone's playing a stage. You know how much it took to get to that stage? Mm-hmm. Even just packing up the car, and doing sound check. And those people put their lives, they put all their heart and their soul and their brain into what they're doing up there. And that's why I play a lot of bars, for the past, especially in my band, I've played a lot of bars. And you understand people just go out to have fun. Mm-hmm. But a lot of times, there's TV's going on, everyone, just in the back, everyone's, but, people put a lot into their music, and it's nice to have people actually listen. And even if one person out there is just, is just mesmerized by your playing, that makes the night worthwhile. And so you should support, live music, whoever it is.
Young Sam James.
Thank you very much for having me on the show.
Thank you for coming on.
I enjoyed it.
And we'll be back in a few weeks with Emily Barnes. See you then.